Hey y'all, I'm Kari and welcome to my channel. Today's video I'm making my take of Jamaican Brown Stew Chicken. So if you'd like to see how it goes, just keep watching. I'm starting off the process by cleaning off my chicken. I usually use lemon juice, but we didn't have any lemons, so I'm using vinegar. I'm running cool water over the chicken and cleaning the chicken thoroughly. So here I am draining it again. This is the second time after washing my chicken with vinegar. So moving on, I'm starting to cut my meat. I usually buy the quarters. I've seen people where they will buy an entire chicken and cut it up, but I think it's easier just to go ahead and get quarters. Usually for me, when I cut my meat, specifically chicken, I'll go in and cut the extra skin and excess fat that I find unappealing. I'll go ahead and cut it and toss it. It's never too much of a hassle, but with fatty pieces like legs and thighs, there's always an extra skin and fat. My husband just added another ingredient that I forgot to add, which was a yellow onion or white. Is it yellow or white? I can never remember. Yeah, so he added that in. Gotta get that onion. In hindsight, I should have cut my raw seasonings before cutting my raw meat. Even though I'm going back to wash my cutting board and my knife to prepare my raw seasonings, I should have cut them first. Also, usually after I finish my entire preparation for my meats and my vegetables, I do go back and put just a little bit of Clorox on my cutting board because it is plastic, just to be safe of bacteria, getting all that bacteria off of that plastic cutting board. Okay, so these are my raw seasonings. I've got sweet pepper, I've got scallion, and white onion. I usually cut them up, chop them in quarters, and add them in with my dry seasonings. So now I'm going in with my salt, my thyme, my pepper, my pimento seeds, and my Mrs. Dash table seasoning. And I also have ketchup and browning. The browning is usually what gives the color to brown stew chicken, and I actually like it, but you only should use a little bit of it because a little goes a long way, and you don't want your chicken to come out bitter because it does have a bitter taste. After seasoning my meat, I'm gonna go ahead and cover the bowl with aluminum foil and put it in the refrigerator for an hour to let the seasoning sit and kind of like penetrate the meat. But you can let it sit for longer if you have longer than an hour before cooking your dinner. Alrighty, so now I'm getting my pot of water ready. I'm getting ready to make my white rice. I do add butter and salt to taste. That's just my preference. You don't have to add anything, but I do know some people that add scallion or Jamaican rice as well as the peas, and they also use coconut milk. When I tell you that that is good, it's good. I think I'm gonna have to make a video on making rice and peas, but leave it in the comments and let me know. When I'm making white rice, after I let the water come to a boil and I add my butter, my salt, and my 1.25 cups of rice, I do let the rice boil on high heat for a little bit, and then I'll turn it down and cover it with a lid so that it can steam and get nice and fluffy. Okay, here's the fun part. So I'm using a Dutchie to cook my chicken, and I have a good amount of pieces, and I want to fry all of the chicken on the front and the back. So I'm going to do this in 2 or 3 separate takes. So this is my first set of chicken. I believe I'll do 4 pieces, and they're the legs. I try to put the skin down so that the skin is browning, and then when we flip it, you'll see exactly what I mean. All right, I'm flipping my chicken now, and do you see what I mean when I say that it'll be brown? I'm frying the outside skin, and it's also browning it and making it look really nice and crispy. So when we cook it down, all that flavor will be inside the chicken. So I've switched the legs for the thighs, and only 3 can fit at a time because once again my Dutchie is small, but we're going to get these chicken browned and perfected the way that they should be. My house smells amazing when I cook this dish, and I just love the way it smells. Look at that. They're brown on the skin, and it's perfect. So when we cook it down, remember the flavor is going into the meat, and it's going to taste amazing. All right, y'all, we're almost done. So I took my Dutchie and I had to clean it because I turned my heat up a little too high and it burned at the bottom of the pan. And I didn't want those burnt crispy little flakes and just the taste of the burnt seasonings at the bottom to be in my gravy. So I cleaned out the pot and I'm re-adding my chicken. And I'm going to cover this chicken with the seasonings and water that I added to bring it all together, to bring it to a boil so that it can cook the chicken and the seasonings and give it the most optimum flavor. Look at that. It's boiling nicely. You can see the seasonings, and it's perfect. So as you can see, my rice is done. It's nice and fluffy, and it's steaming hot. All right, y'all, here it is, the chicken that we've been waiting for. It's been cooking for about an hour and a half. I just wanted to make sure that it was cooked down well enough. So I'm checking and making sure everything is flipped and turned and had some time in the juices and ready to be served. And here's the final product, guys. I hope you enjoy my take on Jamaican Brown Stew Chicken with white steamed rice. And I'm adding a little gravy just for extra flavor. Have a nice one.